See, I came on the 10th.
We're on video,
No.
so don't say anything that's rude.
This is 13. Today's the 13th.
13th.
We're here today to visit with Dale Salasek and Glenace Salasek.
Brother and sister.
Brother and sister. And how old are each of you?
Oh, I'm 76.
We have to have that on video now.
We'll
Don't
do
look
it.
so shocked.
No.
This is documenting history.
We're proud of our ages.
Now, how old would you be, Dad?
76.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. And there's how many years between you?
Well, there's 7 years between us.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then you don't actually say it because we can do the math.
60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious about growing up at not grandma's. It's grandma to me, grandma and grandpa to me.
Yeah.
But at your house,
Mom and Dad.
at mom and dad's, at your mom and dad's.
Yep.
Now they're 7 years apart, so you were quite small when you were out horsing around on the farm.
Yeah.
With
And going to school
with Grandpa
here.
Fred, and going to school here.
Yeah.
Now you went to school here as well.
Oh yes.
Right?
To
Through
5th grade.
Okay, Spencer. Come here, sit in my lap.
Through 5th grade. And speaking of small, something came to mind. We had a 1940 Ford, and the inside spaces of those cars weren't all that large. 3 children and 2 adults riding around in that 1940 Ford. Well, because I was the little one, I always had to sit in the front seat between Mom and Dad.
Wow.
And they got their own space in
Yeah.
behind.
Yep.
So that's a trauma of being, the youngest.
So you felt
Yeah.
excluded from the older kids,
Yes.
being segregated to the front seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you, speaking of the 40 Ford, you were talking about a story that had happened to you and Dolores on the 40 Ford.
Oh yeah.
With the
Tell
40 Ford.
them about
Now,
that.
what happened there?
Well, it was really unfortunate. We were coming home from church one Sunday. It was just raining, pouring so hard. We were really alarmed and a little scared. And we were on the old Highway 30, just driving past the Rock Valley Schoolhouse. And we were coming to the cutoff, which was a gravel road, and we were worried about the mud, it being muddy, and maybe we wouldn't get up the little hills that were between that old Highway 30 and the new Highway 30. We had to cross the Highway 30. So we decided that we would not go on that little road, and we traveled through Shady Oaks and then got onto the new Highway 30 on east of our cutoff to the Salasek farm. So then we were heading west, and then we had to turn left, and it was raining cats and dogs. And we had to wait for a car that was traveling to the east to go by before we could turn left. And a semi didn't see us and hit us in the rear end.
Wow. And we have a picture of that in the farm, and it's a pretty severe rear-end collision.
I should say.
I think he honked at the last minute. I can remember him honking. It just before the impact. Yeah.
And did you get hurt?
No, we were
Very lucky.
we had sore muscles. When we laughed, then a few days later it just really hurt. Our muscles were really sore.
Well, let me ask you this. What did Grandma and Grandpa say, or your mom and dad, when you got, they had to tow the car home, I suppose. What did Grandpa say?
I don't remember that part. I think he came up to the wreck.
How did you notify them?
And that part Dolores may remember better. She was the driver.
Okay.
Because there was no cell phones. And
No.
But somebody may have come by.
But yes, I
told them.
remember Ethel Gummert going by. She may have stopped and
Told them.
she saw us.
Yeah, I bet that scared the folks.
And I can see the expression on her face still. And then but she didn't stop and talk to us. She just headed right on down this road.
Oh.
And so I would imagine she
Maybe
might have
she's-
been the one
Yeah.
that told us. because then Dad appeared shortly.
Yeah.
Now, what did he come down in? What would he have been driving?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Maybe the
Because
tractor.
we didn't
You only
have a
had
pickup.
one car, right?
Yeah, we didn't have a pickup.
Uh-huh. I don't know.
He would have had to come with a tractor.
Yeah.
Maybe the little Ford tractor.
Unless Ethel brought him back.
Yeah, except he would have had some way to get you back,
Right.
both. Well, maybe he brought you all back here.
But something,
again.
in that part, I'm fuzzy on
Yeah.
that. I remember that he
You see,
brought
this
us
all happened
back.
in 1952. I was in the Army at the time.
Well, you weren't even around.
I wasn't even around.
Okay.
So I
Huh.
was gone.
Now, how did they get word to you that that had
My
happened?
mom wrote a letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because all communication at that time was letter.
Just letters.
You never did call.
No.
There was no calling
That was
No.
too expensive.
from Germany to here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did you have a phone in the house?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Now,
By that time
was this back in the
already-
day where it was
No,
rings
no,
were long,
no,
long,
we
short?
We already had the Bell
Okay.
telephone system where you dialed.
Okay.
And then we had
It's on the wall.
seven or eight people were on our party line.
Yeah.
7 or 8 people in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Mhm.
Really? So you could lift up the phone,
Yes.
and if somebody else was on the line, you could hear their conversation.
Yeah, Wildermyths were on, and
Yeah, Kyle's before them.
and
Velosta Peschel, Ray Fouch,
yeah,
and
and
Bud
my grandpa,
Lucina.
grandma.
Yeah, and Aunt Helen and Grandma and Grandpa.
Mhm.
Now, were there people just kind of listening in on other people's conversations?
Everybody
Yeah,
suspected
I
that.
think that's true.
'Cause
But
we
you
were-
could hear if somebody lifted the receiver up.
Oh, okay.
It was always a little click.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then you waited to see if you could hear the other click. This second click would be them
Yeah.
hanging up.
Interesting.
Yeah, they'd hang
And
up
then
if they
once
didn't
in
think
a-
if they didn't think it was very interesting conversation. They'd
Yeah.
hang up.
And then if they had an emergency, they would just say, "I have an emergency call."
Yeah,
and
you
then
could break in.
people would hang up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, tell me about, you mentioned that Grandma and Grandpa, which would be your Grandma and Grandpa, which would be Grandpa John and Grandma Anna.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about them. They lived up the road,
Yep.
and they...
The most exciting thing would be walking over there to see them.
Yes. Especially after they would get home from town, we knew they'd have some candy.
Oh,
Yep.
see, with the two of them, they connived a little bit more.
Yeah, you were so much,
Yeah.
quite a bit younger.
Quite a bit younger.
Yep. We'd watch. When we'd see them come home from town, that was with the 27 Dodge, 1927 Dodge. We'd give them 5 minutes or so they could get in the house and come back out on the porch and sit. And then we'd walk up, and first thing we'd look as we come around the trees there along the road, were they sitting on the porch? Yeah, they were. We knew they would be, waiting for us to give us some candy.
Now, what was their demeanor? I mean, were they jolly people, or were they
Oh yeah.
kind of very serious,
Yeah.
focused people?
Oh,
or-
Grandpa especially, he was jolly person. Grandma, she was a little bit more reserved.
Okay.
And Aunt Helen was, of course,
Oh,
jolly.
yeah, she was.
And
Now, she subsequently lived there after
yeah,
your grandma and grandpa passed away.
yeah, she lived there all of her life.
Okay. Yeah.
92 years.
And now we've since restored the house into a rental house.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there's 3 girls living there, actually. Right now.
Yes. Right now at the time.
They're good renters.
Yep.
Looks nice in there. So, now, did Grandpa John and Fred farm together?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They farmed together.
And they farmed all with horses.
That would have been at that time from before 1919 was all horses.
Okay.
But in 1919 we got pretty mechanized. They bought a new 1919 Fordson tractor.
Okay.
And
And he would drive down most every day. Grandpa John would
Yeah,
drive
mhm,
down
yep,
to see
yep,
us
And with the tractor.
With his
with
car.
a tractor. With a tractor.
car with a tractor.
And
Yeah,
it's
because
a
you know we
tractor.
left after 1940 when we got the new Ford tractor. it was based at Grandpa's.
Okay.
Grandpa John's.
Okay.
And that's where it was housed.
Right. And they had pigs and chickens and
oh yeah.
They had all the traditional
yep.
livestock that you would have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Grandpa was quite a hog raiser, and to this day the hog house that he used is still standing.
Still there. Which I understood as I was growing up to be the chicken house. But that really wasn't the chicken house.
No, after it was all done with hogs and all, and Aunt Helen wanted to continue on with chickens, and just made that into a chicken house.
I see.
And we tore the other chicken house down. It wasn't very good.
Now, I remember you talking about Grandma Anna not being able to hear extremely well.
Oh, yeah, she didn't have good hearing.
So was it difficult to visit with her?
Very difficult to visit with her. Aunt Helen could, because Aunt Helen spoke loudly and clearly. And she could make Grandma understand.
Okay.
My voice, the certain decibels that it produces, she could never hear me. So Aunt Helen always had to repeat what I said.
Yeah.
Because she spoke quite loudly.
Aunt Helen.
I mean, she had a voice that would really
and
carry.
her voice carried.
Oh, yes. That's why I think she's, all through her life, she spoke quite loudly.
Yeah. Because she was trying to overcome her hearing.
Yeah. Trying to overcome Grandma's hearing.
Now, there was no, at one time there was and maybe it was Grandma Salasek's parents, that there was a language barrier.
Oh, yeah. And that was with Mom's, our mother's side of the family. The Dostal side out in Pima County. We could never speak to our Grandma and Grandpa because they didn't speak English and we didn't speak Czech.
So was there anybody kind of in between that could translate?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If
our
folks
they spoke Czech.
Yeah.
If our folks would have spoken more Czech at home when we were there, we would have learned to speak Czech.
Okay.
But they didn't. They spoke mostly all the time English.
Except if they didn't want us to know something.
Yeah, I can remember that.
Oh, really?
If they wanted to talk about something they didn't want us to know about, they would speak in Czech, and we couldn't understand it.
Now, do you know any words in Czech?
Oh, a few, yeah. Yep.
So Czech is a difficult language to learn.
I remember Grandma Salasek, Grandma Louise say, pancakes, stirred up pancakes were like kashishka?
Kashishka. Oh, yeah, stirred pancakes.
Yep.
They were so good.
Which is very close to the word kachka, which is a cat. Kachka.
Oh.
And I remember her yelling at the cat.
Yes.
With that word.
Kachka, yeah. But don't confuse kachka and kashishka. Kashishka.
Okay.
Yeah. There are few other words. Potatoes were brumbody. Milk was moliko. And sauerkraut was zali.
And of course then there was nazdravi. We learned that.
Which is?
Cheers.
Cheers. I heard there were a lot of cheers going on.
when you go to the Czech Republic.
Interesting. So to give me an example of a day in the life over there as you were growing up. I mean, who slept where as you were kids?
Well, we kind of moved around.
There was quite a few bedrooms. So
there was 4 bedrooms upstairs.
We each had a kind of a bedroom. You girls had a bedroom together, didn't you, for a time?
In the front room, the east.
Okay. Yeah.
The east room.
Yeah.
And then as a 4-H project, Dolores, we kind of revamped it, and then we got twin beds.
Oh, yeah.
Twin beds.
Yeah.
Up in that east room.
And my room was the first room to the north.
Then she refinished one of the old dressers, which for a 4-H project, and I think she has that today.
Now, was the existing bathroom, the bathroom now, was that a bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a bedroom. That
was the bedroom. Okay.
No, maybe I did sleep there during some of my growing up years. But I was in the next room, south.
You were the middle bed.
Middle bedroom.
The middle bed. Yeah, that's the one I was
talking
talking
about.
about. Yeah, the one that's the bathroom now.
Okay.
And the north room was I guess you'd call it kind of a spare bedroom, and that's where Mom would board teachers that taught here in our schoolhouse. And
so you were getting up, along with your teacher was getting up.
Yeah.
She would come over, open the school.
Yeah.
And you would follow not too long after.
That's just exactly right.
Boy, that's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. And then when Clarabelle Havens stayed at our room at our house, but she stayed in your room.
Yeah, kind of.
Was that when you were gone?
No, I was only just when she was here. I was a junior and senior in high school.
And I thought she was in that middle bedroom.
I can't remember for sure which room she had. But anyway, there was no bathroom, so
where was the outhouse?
Everybody went out to the outhouse. That was just
right
off to
in view of the window from the shop.
Yep. Oh, really?
Yep.
So sometimes if somebody came over and you were in the outhouse, and then you felt like you couldn't walk. You had to wait till they left.
That you were being spied upon.
or you were sure they were not in
the
shop.
I've got.
You didn't want to be seen coming
memories
out.
of
That wasn't cool.
That wasn't cool to be seen coming out of the outhouse?
No.
Now, was that a one-holer or a two-holer?
One.
One-holer.
Yep. And we still
I don't know why that's relevant, but
we've still got the base of that toilet.
Oh yeah.
That's out here.
And it was unusual because it wasn't like it was set at an angle.
Yeah, it was at an angle of the little building.
Like a square, it sat at an angle.
But that was kind of cold in the winter.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You didn't waste any time.
You put off going after to the last minute.
Those were the days.
Now, what about heat in the house? Did you wake up to a cold house?
Always heated with coal and wood. Grandpa.
No oil burner.
No, let's see. I don't think we ever had an oil burner.
In the dining room.
Was there an oil burner there? Because we went then from the wood burner there in the living room to wood coal furnace.
Yeah, about October or November they brought that stove in.
Okay.
And set it up.
Yep.
For the winter. In the living room. In the living room, they took that partition out, but the chimney was about in the middle of the west living room wall.
Okay. Huh.
That chimney is probably still there. Is that right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. It's capped on the top.
Yeah, that's the.
Was that the old one?
Let's see. Was there two chimneys on that house?
Mm-hmm.
The one that the north one is still up.
Yes, because then there was a chimney in the kitchen.
Yeah.
The kitchen dining room.
Yep.
We're back to back.
So
and
there
so
were.
Then the burner in the dining room went up the same flue as the kitchen stove.
So maybe there was just the one chimney. I'm trying to think
but
whether
there was one for the living room.
Well, then that one was taken down.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've only got the one chimney left.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that could be.
Well, tell me some stories about Grandpa Fred or Grandma Louise on some of their quirks, or what was their. I mean, what was their demeanor?
Well, a big thing that I remember is every Saturday night we went to town for shopping.
Really?
And take in the eggs and the cream, and buy the groceries, and then walk up to Main Street, and Main Street was just full of people congregating. Because Saturday night was the night to go to town, and we always did. And so that was Saturday night's time.
And you'd sell eggs.
Yeah, sell eggs.
Who would you sell them to?
There was a little place down there on North Center Street, just pretty close to the grocery store there, which was at that time Clifton's.
I remember that.
And then John Deere store is right across the street from Clifton's.
You had to go down the alley to get to the egg store.
Yeah, and the creamery. Well, most of the time we deliver our cream to Piper's Creamery.
Oh, yes. And that was just off of Main Street.
Off of Main Street to the south.
South.
Yeah. Alva Piper had a creamery business.
So then gosh, it was Saturday night, you had a little money in your pocket?
Yeah. Buy the groceries.
Buy the groceries.
And anything else you needed. And usually, Dad would give me a nickel, and I'd go up probably and buy a candy bar.
Sure.
Didn't you buy a bag full of candy at the dime store?
By the, yeah, probably,
You could get
I'm sure.
a fairly good-sized bag of candy
Yeah.
at the dime store.
For a nickel
But
or a dime.
They had all of the candy in bins, and then you would tell the clerk which I would like a nickel's worth of, like
Yeah.
chocolate-covered
Yep.
peanuts. And then she'd take her big scoop them into a sack, weigh them, and put, that will be a nickel.
There you go.
But
I mean, so that
usually,
you didn't get more than a nickel's worth. Yeah.
usually, folks would give us plenty of money, you know, like 25 or 35 or 45 cents maybe. But Dad would always tell me, don't spend it all, save some. And I think that's where maybe I got my savings.
Your thriftiness?
Thriftiness. Yeah, and that's it.
That's the understatement of the year.
Yeah.
Thrifty.
Yeah. And so I did. I had a little bank at home, and I'd save my money, and maybe then pretty soon take it to the bank and draw a little interest. I thought that was really something.
Sure. And so what would be see, when I was a kid, I remember going over to Grandma and Grandpa's, and maybe this was in their older years. Grandpa he had a little place in the basement.
Yeah.
That he would take a nap.
Yeah.
Or he's had a dresser of stuff down there. I remember. What was that? His kind of a place to
Yeah.
kind of
He even had
escape a little bit.
He had his CB radio down there.
Yeah, it was the CB was down there. And then I think...
So he had a CB.
Yeah.
He would visit with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I forget his number. Ha! Our number, my number, I had one too. I could talk to him over there.
He was very, very interesting.
My number was KGI 3715.
He might have been today's computer person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like cutting edge technology back
It
then.
was.
Yeah.
It
But the CB didn't hang around too long. They kind of went out.
Was it
But
a CB or shortwave radio?
It was shortwave. It was a shortwave.
Shortwave radio.
No, it was CB, Citizen Band.
But he had a shortwave radio.
Yeah, I think he had a
also.
shortwave radio that you could tune in
Yes.
to stations across the on the other side of the world.
Whoever you could get.
Yes.
Now,
Couldn't talk to him, you just listened.
Yeah, that
No,
was the list.
Yeah.
what era are we talking about here? We're talking about the 40s, more or
And
less.
And 50.
Yeah, and
50s.
50s.
Okay.
Yeah, even into the 60s
Okay.
when he had his little cubicle downstairs and,
Okay.
and some.
Then I think we were starting to get on the kick of the smoke in the house, so he'd go down there and smoke.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
probably
that's right. He was a smoker,
He was
wasn't
a
he?
Oh, he
smoker
smoked.
When did he
until-
stop?
Well, it was quite a bit later in life. His life.
I think I was married already.
Yeah, I don't know how old he was when he quit, but
So
I didn't realize it was such a hard thing to quit. So I didn't really
It was in the 60s.
praise him for quitting smoking. Like
But he did.
he did
Just
Just
cold turkey.
on his own.
Now, what did he smoke?
Camels.
Yeah, bought in cigarettes, but for a long time he rolled his own.
Rolled his own.
Yeah,
Prince Albert.
Prince Albert. He had a little packet of cigarette papers. He tore one out and made a little trough, poured in the tobacco, turned it around so it would look like a cigarette, licked it so it would stick, and smoke it like a cigarette, regular button
Do
cigarette.
you remember him smoking a lot?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It was probably
Yeah.
a chain smoker.
Yeah, he smoked a lot, but I just, like I say, I didn't realize how hard it was to quit, so I didn't really tell him, boy, Dad, I'm sure glad you quit smoking.
Sure.
And I didn't do it.
Kind of forgot about that.
Yep. And of course, we never did. None of us ever smoked.
Uh-huh.
So that was, what are some other things? Well, my dad had his shop out there in the shop that you can see from here.
It's what we call the upper shop now.
The upper shop now. He always remember the day we went into town and he bought a lathe, a metal lathe. And we set it up out there in the shop and it sat there for years and years. And it's still there.
Still there.
Apart.
It's in pieces.
It's in pieces.
And I used to love to watch him weld. He was just such a master.
Yeah, because he was quite a welder.
But then he'd see me watching him, and I'd get scolded because I wasn't supposed to look at.
No, not look at the light or the fire.
So then I just backed off further away.
Yeah. Yeah, he was quite a.
Well, that was welding with the torch.
Welding with the acetylene.
Yes.
Oxygen and acetylene.
Then he'd get it all hot and he'd put it on a piece of, I don't know, iron or something, and he'd hammer it and, just shaping that piece.
He was like a blacksmith.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes. He did a lot of repair work. And I really never got to welding with the acetylene because I got an electric welder then. Okay. And I learned electric weld.
Then he could do anything. He fixed our shoes. If our shoes broke, he would fix our shoes. Like a buckle come off or the sole come off, he would fix that.
He was quite mechanical minded.
Now, Grandma always had a big garden, didn't she?
Yeah.
Did you all help with the garden?
A big garden. Oh, I enjoyed gardening with her.
Yeah. And
outside of the house.
When I was little, Dad used to plow that up with the horse, George.
Yeah.
George.
And then, of course, after 19...
You remember Prince?
Yeah, I remember that name, too. But after 1941, then we used the Ford tractor to plow the garden.
Yeah. Okay.
That was 1940 already.
But one of those years, and I remember him coming in with the horse.
I wonder why would have plowed with the horse when it would have been so much easier to plow with a little Ford tractor.
I don't know, but I remember that.
Because we had the same two-bottom plow that you were using.
Unless he had the tractor tied up or something.
Yeah.
With something else.
Yeah, that is kind of. I'm surprised that he plowed the garden with the horse.
Making those horses do.
Oh, I bet. In such a small area.
Yeah.
I would think. So if you had a big garden, you probably did a lot of canning and
all
the typical kitchen stuff.
So many things.
Really? So you canned everything?
Yeah.
Put it all down in the big.
Even meat. We'd butcher a hog and a beef, and they'd can meat.
Grandma Anna, that was her specialty, was canning the meat.
Yeah, that was a
and
big
I remember
thing.
us getting for Christmas many jars of meat.
Canned meat.
Grandma.
Sure.
And it was so good.
So tender.
Yeah.
It was self-tenderizing.
Yeah.
In the can or in the jar. Huh.
Process.
I remember filling bologna casings.
Yeah.
With Grandma Salasek, Grandma Louise.
Yeah.
But
they made bologna.
And she also made Glenace, which is a Czech soul food type.
Yeah, meat mixture and probably some bread. That was so good.
They made use of all parts.
And then, of course, Mom was an expert at collages.
Oh yeah.
That was her.
All kinds.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of like family functions did you have through the course of a year? Did you celebrate birthdays?
Not that I can remember too much. Not really a special party for a birthday.
It was the holidays.
Yeah, Christmas was a big thing. We'd go up to Grandpa and Grandma's and Aunt Helen's and have noontime meal and opening of gifts in the afternoon. And then in the evening, about 4 o'clock or so, we'd head for Elberon.
And go to Grandpa and Grandma's house there.
Grandpa and Grandma's house there.
On the Dostal side.
Yeah, on the Dostal side.
Big gathering.
Oh, that was huge.
12 brothers and sisters.
and their husbands and
all
wives.
at one house.
Yeah, all in one
You
house.
could hardly move in that house.
Oh, I know
Toward
it.
the end.
Yeah, and that house still stands today. My cousin would have been Aunt Emma, one of the sisters. Her son lives there, and his wife, and he's retired
And that's
from
what you
farming.
kind of call the home place over
That's
there?
the home place.
Okay.
Yeah, we were there just not too long ago. A couple of months ago,
Sure.
we were there.
And that was a very nice house. It was a pretty new
Oh,
house.
yeah. Yeah, it was built brand new in 1930, 31, because the other one burned down. There. Oh, what else? Oh, my dad milked a few cows, so we had cream to sell, and cream and butter and milk to use.
Did you get in on milking?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Now, were the girls, you and Dolores, did you get out on the farm much, helping,
Actually,
doing some of the labor?
no, they didn't really want us to.
No, not too much.
Uh,
We had plenty of. See, my dad had plenty of machinery already between him and my grandpa, and so we had tractors.
Except when Dale went into the service, then I helped Dad.
Yeah,
Quite a bit. I drove the
1950.
tractor a little bit.
1951.
He was always amazed I didn't take out any fences.
Yeah.
Now, what would you do? Plow or disc?
Like
or?
I'd take the wagons back and forth
Oh yeah.
Okay.
to the
Yeah.
field. And then when Dale come home, I was, oh, I can't, no, I won't help
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Relieved of those.
I really
Yeah,
did
yeah,
this.
yeah.
But I really enjoyed that. It was like a corn picking time, and I pulled
Yeah.
the corn in.
Yep. Yep.
And
Now, what tractor would have that been?
the Ford.
Ford. Got it brand new in 1940.
The Ford, not the Ford, the 8N?
The 8N.
The 8N.
9N.
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 The one
Okay.
that Grandpa had.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to the Fordson,
Yeah. That was
that was older.
It was the Fordson was older.
Yeah, yeah.
But when Grandpa would bring that tractor down when I was real little, they'd let us sit on it, and then when I stood up on the clutch, when I got heavy enough that the clutch would go down, then I could start driving it a little
Yeah. Yeah. Because you could stop it.
bit. Yeah.
Now, how early do you remember being out on the tractors?
Oh, pretty little.
Quite small.
Oh yeah. Myself, I was probably 6, 7, 8 years old. But you were too.
Well, I remember after Grandpa Fred died in
Yeah.
74,
Yep.
I remember you needing somebody to drive the tractor for
Yeah.
baling hay.
Yep.
And so that was what I did then that following summer. I remember being across the creek, guiding the tractor down the windrow of
Yeah.
hay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd get me started,
Yeah.
and then you'd jump back on the hay rack and
Back on the
stack
hay rack.
bales.
Yep.
And then at the end of the windrow, then you'd jump off and run back up and help me get
Yeah.
it turned around again.
Yep.
And looking back, I had no business being up on that tractor because I was barely big enough to even pull the clutch back.
Probably only what, 8 years old, 7?
No, Grandpa died in 74, so I would have been 6.
6 years old. Yep.
Yeah,
But the John Deere tractor, that was that little
630.
B, or the L. No, it would have been the 50. That 50 John Deere.
Okay.
Yep. We had that 50 for several years.
So then you both went to high school in LeGrand.
Mm-hmm.
Went to K kindergarten through 8th here in this schoolhouse.
Well, we didn't have kindergarten here.
No,
There was no kindergarten.
So you just went right to 1st grade.
Yep.
Okay. And then you went to LDF High School. Well, LeGrand
Just LeGrand
High school
at that time.
at
Yeah.
the time.
Yep.
Okay.
Except I transferred to LeGrand in 6th grade. They closed this school
Okay.
when at the end of my
Oh, so
fifth
you didn't make it through 8 years here.
No.
And you
So, and what happened at the end of the 8th grade, then you had to go into Marshalltown to take a test.
Yeah, 8th grade exams.
So tell them what that was like.
Well, as we graduated from 8th grade from our little one-room country schoolhouse, we had to take an exam. But they didn't give the exam here in the school through our teacher. we had to go into the, I think it was the Coliseum.
Oh, really?
At that time, and take a 8th grade examination test. And I can remember all of us sitting there. Yep.
And this would allow you or not allow you to go to
high school.
The high school.
Yeah, and I can remember the superintendent of Marshall County Schools was Mr. R.C. Ringgold. And I can just see him walking around, watching us take
in this
our
very
exams.
schoolhouse. He'd come out and visit all the little one-room schoolhouses through the year.
R.C. Ringgold. And before him was C.E. Shutt. I remember him so well too. When I was in the lower grades. But so that if you passed that test, then you could go to high school.
And if you didn't, then you just didn't go to high school.
I think maybe you had to take the test over again or something.
Okay. And so you both graduated from LeGrand.
Yep.
You went into the service.
After high school.
And you went to teaching school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And where was that?
At Cedar Falls.
Okay.
Iowa State Teachers College.
Okay.
Which then later, it changed name a couple of times before they settled on University of Northern Iowa.
Okay. And you took 4 years there.
2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years. And
2 years to become a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know that.
And then it was very clear that teachers were going to need 4 years. So then I took Saturday classes at Drake to finish up.
Oh, you got your equivalent of 4 years then.
4 years.
Yeah.
It took me, I was 27 before I graduated.
Yeah. I think Dolores did the same thing, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you live in Des Moines?
No, drove.
You
on
drove
Saturday
to Drake?
classes.
Oh, just Saturdays.
Yeah, you drive.
Wow.
Teach all week and then go to class all day on Saturday.
Yeah.
Even Mom, our mother, no, she didn't go to college, but Carolyn furthered her education too and went to Drake on Saturdays just to keep up her certificate.
But your mom, she was the smart one. She got her 4 years all in one.
All at one time?
At one time.
I see. Okay.
But Dolores and I worked that. We taught then after 2 years. And that's just the way it was for elementary teachers. You could teach with a 2-year certificate.
Okay.
High school, you had to have 4 years.
Okay. And you lived at UNI, or the.
I did 2 years.
You boarded, didn't you, there?
So you stayed there, lived there in the dorms. Okay. Well, very good. Where did you teach then?
My first year, I taught at Toledo, Iowa. Not Ohio, Toledo, Iowa. And 1 year. Okay. And then I got a job in Marshalltown, where I taught until 1987.
Okay.
Yeah, you taught lots of years.
My first year was 1958.
Okay. You taught 30 years, almost.
Oh yeah.
In Marshalltown.
Yes.
And then you moved your career to Las Vegas,
where I taught 17 years.
Where you met and married Mark.
Right.
Who's at home messing up your kitchen as we speak.
Yes.
And you've been married to Mark for.
Let's see. We got married in 91.
Oh wow.
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
Long time.
Well, anyway, then I went in the Army in 1951, so that gives you a little perspective there. And then come home in 1953, and then my dad and I went to farming together from then on, all through the years.
Okay.
Until he died in 74.
And you sharecropped?
Yeah, we farmed 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah. If we sold a load of corn, we divided the load of corn money. And if we put the crop in, we divided the cost of the seed corn, fertilizer, and it was just 50-50 all the way through. So I never did cash rent. Just always, we worked together and it was 50-50. If we had a good year, we shared in a good year, and if we had a bad year, we shared in a bad year.
Did you ever have a bad enough year that
Yeah, we had a couple of years that was drought, and we didn't raise much corn. One year was 28 bushels an acre. And that was kind of a bad drought.
Did you feel growing up here and just starting out? Did you feel poor? Did you feel like,
no,
wow,
never did.
How are we going to get our next meal?
Yeah, no. We always had.
We never. I never ever felt poor.
No.
Never.
I think our family was kind of blessed. We didn't go through some of the hardships that a lot of the people during the Depression time
We were
went
self-sufficient with raising all our food, canning, but it never felt poor. And,
no, just always felt, my gracious, we were on top of the world.
Yeah.
Plenty to eat.
And as I look back now, well, my goodness, by standards today, we were probably poor.
No.
I never felt. It's always a matter of your attitude.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I guess there was a little bit of income that normally normal folks in the neighborhood didn't have, which is boarding a teacher.
Yeah, Mom boarded a teacher a number of years,
$7,
and she would get $5 to $7 a month.
Okay, so not a lot, but
nope, but a little bit. Help buy.
It was
groceries.
the egg money. The egg money.
Egg money.
Mom raised the chickens and then
Yeah.
took eggs. I think sometimes a couple of crates of eggs would bring around $10 or $12.
Yeah, I forget what they paid, and also she had a large strawberry patch. She'd pick strawberries and sell them for 10 cents a box or something like that.
Okay.
And she helped buy the new 33 Ford car.
Yeah.
No question about that.
The egg money.
Egg money and cream money and strawberry money helped buy that 1933 Ford.
Little weekly.
Yeah.
$600 for the new 33 Ford. And then the new 1940 Ford was $900. So you had to pay a little extra. Traded in the 33, but had to pay naturally some extra to boot.
Mm-hmm. Now, I remember Grandpa Fred being a really... See, I barely remember Grandpa Fred, but
Yeah,
I remember
that's right.
him being a pretty jolly guy.
Oh yeah.
Was he pretty good, pretty happy guy?
You bet.
Was he?
Bet he
You know,
was.
the interesting thing, I just never ever heard him ever say a bad word about anybody.
No,
Really?
No.
Never.
No.
Not one bad word.
And we had such good neighbors.
And Aunt Helen was that way too.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, that's right. Yeah.
It was just.
And my grandpa was the same way.
Now, contrary to that, I remember Grandma Louise being a little more gruff, or could be a little more gruff.
Yup.
Even receiving some of that as a grandson.
Yeah.
You know,
She could kind of get her ire up.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then she had totally a sweet side too.
Oh yes. She liked to cook and have people come over and serve them a lunch or dinner. And they used to play cards, and they were in the 1930s and 40s and
Had some neighborhood parties.
into the 50s. Yeah. Played 500 with a number of the neighbors. Yeah, it was fantastic growing up years. I just marvel at my growing up years and how the way things worked out.
But then when Dale got called into the service drafted, those were hard years for Mom and Dad. It was difficult.
Just because of the physical labor that wasn't able to take place?
No, they were very worried
Ah.
about it.
But you were actually in a very safe zone.
Oh yeah.
Compared to
Turned
most
out
of the
that I-
guys that went to Korea.
Yeah. I didn't go to Korea. Got sent to Germany instead.
No, we were happy about that.
Yeah.
And that was
And
purely by luck, too.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And then Dale would write home these marvelous letters explaining. He was in Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
and he explained in the long letters,
Yeah.
pages long,
Yeah.
about the occupation and how the French occupied one part and the
Yeah.
U.S. and
Yeah.
and the problems there, and about the Berlin airlift.
Yeah.
Did you got there just after the
Just after the Berlin airlift was done.
So I understood all of that history, whereas other students my age.
So you got a first-hand account almost.
Oh yes.
Of what was going on through Dad's letter.
Yeah.
And that we knew that Berlin was sitting right in the middle of the occupied Russian.
Yeah, we were behind the Iron Curtain, 100 miles, and inside Berlin, but Berlin itself was divided up between American, French, British, and Russian. And, of course, the Cold War then was kind of going on strong.
Well, so radio was the other form of media.
Oh yeah.
That you gathered information.
That was really important.
Yeah.
Getting the free America word out.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Mm. And so you had, of course, a radio. Was that kind of a radio in the house?
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was well, you had electricity.
Oh yeah. By that time already.
When did you get electricity?
1940.
So you were just about 10? Not even that.
Yeah,
you were
about 10 years old.
I always remember it.
You always remember, okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, then having a radio was a lot easier than it was prior to electricity.
I always remember a radio too.
Yeah, we always had a radio. Yeah. Either battery powered or then electric.
We would talk about the windmill.
Oh, the wind charger.
Wind charger.
Yeah, we had a wind charger that was a popular thing back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. It kept the battery charged on the radio. Yeah, I can hear the rumble yet of that wind charger when the wind would come up. Then Dad would got to blowing too hard. He'd go out and pull the brake on so it couldn't spin.
To stop it.
To stop it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'd spin the propeller.
No, you needed this, and the reason you had that was because you didn't have electricity.
Yeah, at that time, that was the reason we had it was because there was no electricity.
Then once electricity came,
as soon as we got electricity,
no reason for the wind charger anymore.
But it stayed up there for many years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still got the tower for it. It's down there in the. And then the one that we've got all restored, that belonged to Andrews.
Oh, okay.
They had it on top of their building there at home, a mile and a half south of us here when they
It probably would have still stayed up there, but I think Mom wanted it to come down.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I remember, I thought I remember having a TV antenna on top of it. On top of that mast.
I think it was right beside it.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe that was.
Or did they put it up on top of it?
They might have put the TV antenna on top of the wind charger tower. Yeah. It stood up another.
But it was the one we had a motor, so we could turn the TV, aim it.
Oh yeah.
So I think that one wasn't on top of it. Maybe the first one was.
Yeah, it was probably mounted on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
The one that turned.
The one that turned.
Yeah.
Had a motor on it.
Yeah, that was quite a concept. You to tune in your TV stations.
Sure.
You hit a button there by the TV, and it would turn the antenna different direction.
It taught you which direction Cedar Rapids was.
Yeah.
Because your stations came from either Des Moines or Cedar Rapids.
Des Moines or Cedar Rapids, yeah. Waterloo.
Oh, yeah,
We had good television stations.
We had to go northeast, just a little hair.
And Ames also.
You remember when you got your first TV?
Mm-hmm. I was about 11.
Yeah, probably
12.
then.
Wow.
1950.
The McCarthy hearings were going. I remember those.
Yeah.
It was that was about the only thing that was on during the daytime for the hearings.
So there you had, 40, 50 channels to choose from?
Oh no.
No?
No. 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I don't think, it was only about 2 to be, Ames was the only one we
Ames
could
we could
begin
get
with.
good, and Des Moines,
And then
and
Cedar
Waterloo or
Rapids.
Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, came in.
Yeah.
Waterloo,
Three good stations that came in pretty good.
That was it.
And watching TV was for information purposes at that time, or was it
There
for
was some
entertainment?
entertainment programs already.
Oh, I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
George Burns,
Yeah.
eventually.
Jack
and,
Benny.
And then for kids, it was, well, I liked Captain Video.
Captain
Oh,
Video.
Captain Video. Yeah.
It was a
I've heard that
space
Yeah.
show. And Captain
And-
Video ended up a pauper. He died very, very poor.
Oh, yeah.
Sad about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then you remember already then coming on with some of the programs, Captain Kangaroo, don't you?
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't ever watch that.
Oh, yeah, he was real popular.
Captain Kangaroo, Dr. Max,
Yeah.
Sesame Street,
Yeah,
Electric Company. I mean,
was
these
another
were,
one. Electric
these are all
Company.
very contemporary compared to what you.
Yeah, they were.
But
Oh, and then of course, TV signed off about 10:30 or 11.
Yeah. And there was
Oh.
nothing on during the
Didn't
night.
go.
is that when you got the colored stripes?
Yes.
And that was the way it
Oh
would
no,
be.
it would be just nothing, and then about 1 or 2 hours before it came on, then you got the colored stripes.
I see. Okay.
All you got was just a signal.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
snow.
So. All right. Anything else you want to throw in there?
Oh, I guess not.
I can't think of any other good questions.
We had a fantastic growing up time. Great parents. Opportunity.
Great grandpa and grandma, and,
Yeah.
and especially the Aunt Helen.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We
did.
haven't really talked about Aunt Helen much, but she
Yeah.
she never left the farm
No, she never left home.
and never worked outside the home
Nope.
in a profession
Nope.
such as teaching or anything
Yeah,
like that.
no, never.
But so she was so smart,
Oh yeah, she was knowledgeable and sharp.
She enjoyed the radio and TV, I think.
Yes.
Oh, she did. Oh yes.
And I
Oh, she
remember her
liked-
also being very intrigued with the royal families.
Oh,
Or
yes,
royalty
Yeah.
or presidential.
yes.
Queens,
And
and
when you
first
would
ladies.
Go over to the house, she would have their pictures cut out and on the walls
Yeah,
here and there.
yeah. I remember that so well.
She
Oh,
would have
she
Queen
loved it.
Elizabeth,
She
Elizabeth,
enjoyed her
and then some of the
television.
movie stars.
So I always made sure she had a good television set.
She also liked all-star wrestling.
Yeah, she liked wrestling.
I
Yes,
remember
she
that.
did. Oh, yes. And my dad did too.
Really?
Oh, he liked the wrestling, the professional
Well,
wrestling.
when TVs first came out on Saturday nights, I think it was either Groves or Andrews had a television. They were the only ones in the neighborhood that had a television. We'd go over there
Yeah,
on Saturday night to watch the wrestling.
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
women probably chatted in the kitchen while
Okay.
everybody else watched television.
Yeah.
Oh, but then another thing about our dad, he worked so hard on the farm, and you know, you looked at his hands and you'd see those hands till they'd
Oh, yeah.
done very
Yeah,
hard work.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then he'd pick up the violin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yes,
right. Very-
That's right. He was
And
a,
that just always amazed me.
yeah, he could play the violin.
And he only had like about 7 or 8 lessons, violin
Yeah,
lessons.
Yeah.
And he could just pick things up by ear, play by ear.
And then Mom played the accordion real well.
Mhm.
The button
But
accordion.
Now, did they play together?
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
they
did they-
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Glenace learned to play the piano accordion.
Okay.
But I
That
never
was-
mastered the button accordion because it had a
Yeah.
different notes going
Different-
in and
yeah,
out.
it was
Oh,
different.
okay.
You had to
Do
plan
you,
ahead.
do you have a piano accordion now?
I gave it to Terry.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
And does she play it?
She's trying to learn.
Did she? Yeah. Now I believe, what was Grandpa Fred's accordion?
That was
I think
Grandma's.
It,
Yeah.
Or was it Grandma's?
It came from the Dostal side. I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the story that goes along with that, the reason I have it in the first place, is because we went to Uncle Joe's sale,
Oh, yeah.
and this accordion was on one of the tables
Yeah.
to be sold at the auction
Yeah.
for Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
And Grandma saw that. Grandma Louise saw that. She was not happy that that was going to be sold.
Oh.
And she picked it up and gave it to me, and she said, "You take this back to the car."
Oh, yeah.
Because it was always at our house.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
that's what she said. She said she had loaned it maybe to Uncle Joe.
Oh, yeah.
And when his sale occurred,
yeah,
it happened to be there for sale.
Yeah. He forgot that it really actually wasn't his.
And we were driving I remember we were driving the silver Granada.
Yeah.
The Ford Granada that she had.
Yes.
And we threw that, we put it in the back, and when we got here, she gave it to me. She said, "You keep it."
Mm-hmm.
So I've still got it in my house.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I wonder what it brought that time on the sale.
It didn't sell.
Oh, it didn't sell?
No, Grandma just asked me to take it before.
Oh, you just took it to the car then? Oh, yeah.
That was how we avoided a lot of problems.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I bet it could be repaired.
I don't know, it's pretty rough.
Pretty bad shape.
Pretty rough.
Well, on that accordion, when Mom would go out to do chores, I would take it all apart and look at the insides.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to see.
Yeah.
Then we get it all put back together.
All the mechanism.
Yeah. Tell me about Uncle Joe.
Oh yeah, we always thought a lot of our Uncle Joe.
And who is Uncle Joe?
It's a brother to our mother,
Grandma Louise.
Yeah, and he never married. He was a bachelor. He farmed there at the home place, north of Elberon, and then he eventually bought his own 80 acres. And but when we were kids, we looked forward to him coming to see us. Seemed like he would come probably once a month at least and stay overnight with us, stay for the weekend.
Okay.
And, oh, we just thought that was something.
Yeah.
And he'd stop in Dillon and get us some candy. And
But
so
he sometimes used those words that we weren't allowed to use.
Oh yes, he was kind of
only Uncle Joe could
Yeah,
say those
yeah.
words.
He didn't have the best of words, swear words.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And as a kid, I remember going to visit him, and he smoked a pipe.
Yeah, I think he did smoke a pipe.
I think I remember him smoking cigarettes.
Mostly cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had a dog.
Yeah, he had a dog, Major was his name.
Who liked to sing when he played the accordion.
Yeah. And Uncle Joe liked his beer. No question about that.
You remember what kind?
Blue Ribbon. I can remember him stopping at Dillon and bringing some Blue Ribbon beer home. I can't remember any other names.
He was a pretty jolly guy.
Oh, he was a jolly guy.
He was.
Oh yeah, he was fun loving. And
Uncle John was the one that was very, very quiet.
Yeah, he was kind of quiet and more.
And this was another brother to Grandma Louise.
But Uncle John that never married either.
Okay.
And they farmed at home there. And together.
And Uncle John was into photography. He developed his own film. And so forth.
Really?
A lot of those,
I guess I don't remember that.
A lot of those pictures that are there, Uncle John had developed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big family.
And he was killed by a lightning strike.
Yes.
He was on a storm came up and
he and Elvin were coming in from the field.
He was hit by lightning.
And he just about got to the buildings, and it struck him right in the head and just killed him instantly.
Sure.
And that was a shock.
Yeah.
Huh. Now, at this point in time, there's no brothers or sisters left from that family.
The whole family is gone.
From Grandma Louise.
All of Mom's brothers and sisters.
Grandma was the last one.
Yeah. Are all gone.
She was third from the youngest. And
that was
Okay. All right. Well, you've heard it here.
Yeah, you've heard it. We've heard it.
1 hour condensed history.
You heard it from us.
Of Grandma and Grandpa Salasek.
And you can probably condense that some more.
Well, we probably can. And I'm out of video, so we got to stop.
Well, that's good. Well, this kind of thing is someday down the line you'll look at that or show